Hello and welcome to Rarely Rad, episode 19. Haley and is in the house, and it's already June 10th somehow.
Dude, this year's we say this every episode, but this year does fly.
I can't. I'm over it. 4th of July plans, don't have them. Everyone's now like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, that is in less than a month. I have none.
Yeah, I honestly haven't even thought that far ahead.
Me either. I'm in my own little delusional world. We had one brunch one day, like 2 weeks ago, where like I kind of thought we made plans. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to like Key West. And then all of a sudden, as of today, I found out we're not. And so now I'm like, okay. At the end of the day, I have a freaking wedding in Indianapolis this week. I leave literally 7 a.m. on Friday. And my coworker today was like, where are you staying? And I was like, couldn't tell you. She was like, where's the wedding at? And I was like, couldn't tell you that either. What am I wearing? Couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I am flying by the seat of my pants per usual. And I guess I'm just going to have to figure it out at some point.
I'm guessing you're going to crash at somebody's.
Mish booked a hotel room. So I have a place to stay, but where it is, what it consists of, I have no idea. I'm just going to be showing up. I'm not even flying in with them. So I need to kind of figure that out probably prior to me landing there and being like, oh, here I am. Don't know where I'm going, but future Haley issue that I'll figure out in a few days, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't realize that wedding was this weekend until I saw an Instagram post. Like, I feel like that, I don't know. I feel like a couple weeks ago we were talking about the Bachelorette, and now here we are at the wedding.
Yeah, and then I have a wedding the following weekend too. I'm like, I'm not ready for it. But
where's your next wedding at? Oh, is that the Atlanta one?
Yeah, luckily it's here. So I don't have to like plan anything really. What I'll wear to that one, I don't know that either, but I'll figure it out. It is what it is. I had a +1 to that one, but clearly that didn't work out. So
on my way.
Now I think I could have figured it out, but at the time it was so quick that I needed to RSVP right after the end of P, and I was like, I don't know who I would do this with. So I was like, just put me solo dolo.
I'm at that point now. I have 2 weddings, one in Charleston and one in Charlotte. And I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm just going to repeat dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't care anymore. It's not even the same group of people. Like, I'm probably going to wear the one I wore to Shannon's wedding, to the October one. I think it's a good fall because it's like a goldishy brown. Like, you can do that for fall.
I think so. And it's not like you post on Instagram all that often either. So,
yeah, exactly. So, I'm like, whatever. Nobody cares. And I'm not going
to also repeaters.
Yeah, exactly. And I've booked my place for New York.
You did?
Yeah.
Yay, where at?
So our Airbnb is going to be in Brooklyn, like a good area of Brooklyn, obviously not like a weird part. Looks super nice. It's got a little balcony. It's got like elevators, which is kind of hard to come by as well, surprisingly. And it's like right in walking distance of the subway, and it's only like 20 minutes into the city by subway, which isn't bad.
No.
And then we're just going to do that while we're waiting to actually like find a place, because the amount of scammers that are out there is insane.
Yeah, especially in New York. That's where I got scammed on the hockey game ticket.
Before you could kind of tell like, oh, this is a scam. Like now they're getting other people that you wouldn't think would be scammers and be like, hey, if you get this person, like we'll split the commission, quote, whatever you want to call it, the scam money with you. So like people, like actual people are actually like scamming. Like it's a whole thing. So I was like, I want to go visit a place in person. I don't want to lose thousands of dollars because of these losers. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, the person that I paid for my hockey game tickets, they literally sent me like proof and everything of having tickets.
Yeah, it's insane.
They didn't, but so yeah, Airbnb, at least I'll be safe, but hopefully you're not like Alex Earl. Alex Earl, remember they got to Positano.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that Airbnb.
Well, since she got all her money back, and my luck, probably that wouldn't happen. She got all her money back and ended up in an even like 10 times nicer place.
Well, speaking of money back, so I somehow missed that credit card payment. I don't know how. Like it again, I guess I didn't realize like June 6th, and it's my credit card that I like only do mystery shops on. So there's not a whole lot of money on it. And
Yeah.
so I usually will wait until I get paid by the mystery shop, and then I'll just put that money like straight towards it. And all of a sudden last night, after I've had a bender of a weekend, I was like, why did that credit card go up? Like, did I accidentally put like an Uber on that? Like, weird, random. And it wouldn't be a big deal, but I went into it and I had a $29 late fee charge. I was like, no way. And then, of course, I had fee of the amount that was on it. It was like a $4. Since you were like, just call them and see, I called them. They immediately removed the charge, also removed the percent fee. And as an effort of apologizing or something, I don't really understand. They gave me another percentage back in extra money to thank me, but I got 9 cents back. So
Hell yeah.
honestly, kind of bands.
Great
I'm
day.
making money now in this scenario.
I know I told you to call them. I was like, they'll work with you. They're pretty flexible and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I don't know. One of my coworkers told me she got like a $200-something fee, and she just called and like yelled at him, which I was just like, yeah, just call and like they'll probably give it back to you.
But if I hadn't done that, I would have been out $36.
Oh no.
Yeah, not bands, not bands. That's money I don't need to be spending. So I was like,
Money that I don't have.
yeah, dead ass. I have just been avoiding my entire credit card lately because every time it just keeps going up. And I'm like, how are you doing this? And then I'm pretty sure, because I looked before we got on here, I think I lost my sunglasses on Saturday. So
We were floating the river on Saturday. We got to like these little rocks. So we were like stopping there for whatever to get our sandwiches. I don't freaking know, whatever we're doing. And I try to get back into my tube. First of all, I get to the little place where like blowing up our tubes. My tube doesn't have the air stopper.
so how does air stay in it?
It doesn't.
Okay. I'm just making sure I was following along.
The people next to us had like these ghetto little tubes, and I was like, I'll Venmo you for one. And he was like, yeah, $10. I was like, done.
How much is this tube worth?
They're like $40 online, so whatever.
Okay.
So I actually like it was a good deal. Actually, I don't think they were 40. I think they were like 30, but still.
Yeah.
I paid $10 for this thing.
I was thinking it was like one of those like Dollar Tree looking ones.
No, it was better than that. No, it was like it's a good quality tube. It's just kind of like ugly. You know, whatever.
We're floating in the river.
Exactly. So I'm like, let me get back into Ghetto Girl. I'm trying to like get in, and it's like rocks, and then obviously like a giant hole. I don't realize there's a giant hole and there's a current. I get in. I'm drowning for my dear life. My hat is under, but I'm holding my drink in the air. I'm literally drowning.
She died, but the drink was saved.
Literally, Seth and Austin had to come in and help me out. They're like, put the drink down.
Not the alcohol.
My koozie wasn't even wet. I was like, that is art.
You are my child, and I will take care of you.
They're like, let go of the fucking drink. I was like, I was trying to save the drink. Like,
not the alcohol.
Yeah, I was out. Literally, they thought I was like just struggling, and then they realized I was like drowning. They'd come in and help me.
Did y'all get hammered on the river?
Pretty drunk, yeah.
I don't know. Something came over me this past weekend, and I was just wildin'. I ended up being off work on Friday, so I was like, I'll run my half marathon on Friday then. Did that. I don't know what it was, but doing my first one ever last year versus doing my second one this year, it was just a whole different vibe.
Do you think part of it was because you weren't in like an actual like quote unquote competition?
I do think part of that has to be the reasoning, but overall, like it was just so easy. It wasn't something that like I don't know, like I just did it. And last time I remember like my friends came out and supported me, and then we went out and got food. I didn't drink. I think I rested the next few days. Like I was like, my body, This time, no. I finished. I got home at noon. I was out at the pool by 1, drinking on a Friday, Friday, 1 p.m. Everyone else at work, not me. I've run a half marathon and now I'm at the pool drinking. And then we made dinner plans. And so 6 of us went out to dinner and started drinking there. Then we went to the bar and we were like, Fireball.
Ew.
Why? Why would we do that?
Yeah, that's weird.
No idea. But we were running it, and then everyone somehow was then said dark horse. Me, one bar I hate. You'll never see me step foot in there. Oh no, I was all in. I was going for it. Didn't care. Why? I have no idea. Then we ended up going to Woody's, which is like the late night cheesesteak spot, and got food there. And I didn't get home until 4 a.m.
I don't know how. I feel like you stay out late a lot.
I literally did that. And then I did it again Saturday. Kind of was moving a little slow, but I was awake by 8. Like I went to bed at 4 and I was awake by 8. I was like, why am I this way? And I was doing things, taking care of the dogs, because still a freaking dog mom over here. And then I went to the pool, and I don't know what's wrong with me. Every time I'm going to the pool, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get that drunk. I'm just going to bring these few seltzers. Oh no, hammered.
Yeah.
Hammered. Like, there are things that I think might have happened at the pool that I have no idea if they did happen or not. Same with, I had a phone call with P's ex for an hour.
Wait, which one?
The vet.
EX?
Vet.
What?
I had an hour phone call when I was fucked up.
Do you remember this phone call?
Yes.
Dude,
So
what happened?
Okay, well, so I don't know how, maybe I haven't told you like much of this at all because we didn't talk.
You haven't told me any of this.
Oh my God. So we're going out Thursday or Friday night, and one of our friends came and met up with us. We had a group of like 15 to 20 of us. We had a really big group. It was so much fun. But one boy had gotten drinks with P prior and told us like all this wild stuff that was being said. And no, not really. Kind of like he moved into the building his ex lives in.
Oh,
I was like, this boy is about to be walking his dog in circles in hopes to run into her, because going to her place of work wasn't going to be enough because he couldn't go there every other day. And then I also said, I don't even know like what this building looks like, if it's a high rise, if it's a lot of buildings, whatever. I was like, he's either going to be walking around this complex just doing laps until he runs into her, or he's going to get in the elevator and like Elf, like in the movie where he presses every single button and just ride up and down this elevator until she gets in.
That's like, insane. He's so weird.
Insane. He's like, he told our friend that they were getting back together. She's going to break up with her boyfriend, all this stuff. And I was like, I have to reach out. Like at this point, a lot of people had asked me, do you feel like you'd reach out to her and stuff? And I'm like, honestly, this is like all way behind me. I'm not interested. I don't want anything to do with it. And then I found this out and I was like, I have to. Like, I can't not reach out.
Yeah.
And so I wrote I sent her a DM first off, and it's the most ridiculous DM ever. And I had like 5 people proofread it. I'll read it. And you're just luckily she doesn't know me. So like she doesn't know this is 0% how I would ever talk. But I said blank. I sent this at 12:40 in the morning. Clearly I'm not sober. Why would I be reaching out to her at this time? I regret having to approach you like this.
Okay,
but
professional.
But I believe something needs to be addressed. I apologize for bringing this up on a Friday night. From what I've heard, it seems like you might discuss everything with P, but I trust you know better. He needs serious help. He's broken his lease to move into your building. I know for a fact that he cheated on you during your relationship. Additionally, through my own research, I discovered that you visited him on April 16th while you had a boyfriend and he had a girlfriend, me, and he bought you roses. I'm not sure what you expect from this, but I'm sharing my experience with you in hopes that it helps. Despite the ghosting and what I've been told, I don't believe anything, which is why I'm reaching out now. So do that. Then she responds Saturday morning and said, can I call you later? And I'm like, shit, I'm about to be drinking. And I'm like, how late is later? We didn't get on the phone until like 8 p.m. So way later.
Well, hopefully she's drunk too, because what the hell?
I don't know. I don't know if she works on
she
Sundays.
Probably works weekends.
Yeah, I have no idea. But we get on the phone, we talk for an hour. She's like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is awful, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, does she know he's moving into that building?
Yes. And she was like, luckily my lease ends in August, so I can get out. And I was like, dude, you got to break this lease. I was like, I know your career. You have money. Break this lease. For your own sanity, for your own safety, you have to get out. And she was like, oh my God, yes, 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 whatever. And then she texted me yesterday and was like, I was just the biggest bitch I've ever been in my entire life, but it's done. And I was like, OMG, what happened? She was like, call me whenever you have a chance. Since I was busy yesterday, I didn't call her until like 2 hours later. And then she didn't answer. And then she texted me like 2 hours after that and was like, hey, like, I'm sorry, been super busy Sunday. I'm looking at new apartments and condos. And I'm now with friends, so I will call you later when I get off work. So that if you hear dinging on my end, it's because my phone is not on DND this time. Because if she calls, I gotta answer.
So I'm just like, I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. So, okay, I didn't realize. So, did you tell her that he said like she ghosted him and whatever?
I was asking so many questions because I was like, I know like what I've been told isn't true.
Yeah.
So like I was like, when were you guys dating? And she was like, well, that's really complicated. And I was like, how so? And she was like, he was trying to be my like asking to date me. I wasn't really into it. Honestly, it got really out of hand. He was just a client. And
He's a
I went,
client?
you knew that. That's all
Oh,
I
yeah.
said.
Yeah, no, I'm but still, like that's oh my God, I don't know why, but saying the word client made it feel so much weirder.
And she was like, he was just a client. Like, I was never into it like that. I tried to end things and he basically told me no. So yeah, and she told me she hasn't called me yet, but she was like, the gist of it was I told him if he reaches out to me again, I will have to file a restraining order. It reminds me of Crazy Ex.
Yeah. Did
Like,
you dodge a fucking bullet?
I dodged a bullet. He then reached out to multiple people that like I also know and was like, I need to talk. Like, we need to have a conversation. He is now convinced that me and his best friend are dating. Well, I wouldn't really call them best friends at this point, but he thinks so. I'm blocked on Instagram on
He
all
unfollowed
accounts.
me.
Yeah, he deleted the photo of us from his birthday because I had my coworker look it up today to see because obviously I can't see anything. And yeah, so that's been a whirlwind part of my weekend. Saturday got hammered at the pool and then I had that conversation with her. We ended up going out and then we went back to Woody's that night and the Woody's workers remembered me and they remembered my order.
Dude, I cannot believe I just have so many questions. I don't even care about UGA bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Let's be honest. Nobody cares about that you had your fucking guy knew your ice cream order. I want to talk about the ex.
I mean,
I just like wait. So I didn't know that you knew for sure that he cheated on her. I mean, we suspected it.
no, I do.
Okay, did he admit it?
I know of a girl that he hooked up with in the building that everyone says they hooked up during summer and everyone says
Oh,
it was around August.
yeah,
Well, from what he always told me, they started seeing each other in May, June, and they broke up in December. But I know he hooked up with a girl in August.
yeah,
That's odd. And then Madison, who's on the Tea Party, he started DMing her and trying to hit on her Thanksgiving time. So
yeah.
that's why I asked, like, yo, like, did this relationship? And she said, like, before Thanksgiving, that's when she first originally tried to break up with him. And he had told me before that she had ghosted him once before.
I knew that didn't make sense. The moment you told me she ghosted him after 6 months, a girl doesn't just ghost somebody, a guy that's really good to you, that's treating you like a princess, after 6 months. That
Dude,
just doesn't happen.
every time I now know of over 10 girls that he's hooked up with that lived in his building.
That's weird.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I had
disgusting.
to move.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so
but
weird.
his reasoning for moving is that he wanted to get away from Haley's toxicity.
The own toxicity cause you just got called out on.
Yeah,
Dude, moving into the building, like where your ex lives, is terrifying.
I know.
The fact that she's already told him I need to file a restraining order against you if you do this again, and he's like, we're getting back together. Like, what is like what? That's
Delusional. Straight
scary.
delusion. It's like the
That's
Netflix show
scary.
You.
No, it's so bad.
Like but my favorite joke right now has been, well, he can't move into where I live unless he can buy a place and get a
Yeah.
mortgage.
What the fuck?
I'm like, sorry, I'm adulting. Bye. But yeah, absolutely insane. All of it. I feel bad for the other girl. I'm kind of excited that I won't be here this weekend because I'm hoping like there's less drama within it all and we can just move past every part of it. I'm glad I did my part in reaching out to her. And she even told me, she was like, thank you so much for like reaching out. And I was like, I got you, girl.
She know about you?
Honestly, I don't even know. I have no idea.
It doesn't even matter at this point.
I don't think I really asked. I mean, yeah, I mean, she said that she went because I was like, why did you go over there? Like the night he bought you roses. She said that he would not leave her alone. And so that was like her last effort to be like, this has to stop.
Is that when she said she'd file a restraining order?
No, she did that yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that's something that he's left out in the conversations he's had with our friends.
Obviously.
And he said to one of them, he was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I should continue to pursue her. No. But yeah, I'm slowly like this other girl we know ran into him at LS Teca on Cinco de Mayo, there with another girl. And no one knows who that girl is. No one knows anything. And the timeline is hilarious because he was at the Ivy with his friends. He left. I then went to the Ivy at like, I think I got there around 9:30. And so when this girl was like, no, I saw him at LS Teca that night with another girl. I was like, wait, what time frame was this? Apparently it was at like 6:30, aka he left the bar with his friends. He told his friends that he was like going home, I guess, to see Forrest, when he was really going out to get Mexican food with some girl that no one knows about.
Jesus. Probably for the best that he keeps it that way. He's trying to keep the girls on the DL because he doesn't want everybody to find out and say stuff.
Yeah, and he apparently already assumes that me or his friends are the reached out to his ex. I haven't talked to her since like she had her conversation with him, but I don't. She told him that like her and I talked.
Yikes! That's a fucking eventful weekend. I didn't do all that. I just been fucking flown the river.
It was like I was so busy doing things, but then I also had other things happening at the same time, and I was like, this is exhausting. I'm over this. I'm so ready for it to be behind me, not dealing with it. So yeah, I'm excited that I'll be gone this weekend, and hopefully
things will just fly.
Another breakup I kind of saw was Sarah Ann and Jeremy broke up.
Oh no, didn't see that one coming.
I know. I was like, shocked. They don't follow each other on Instagram anymore. Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I like this Espresso song.
Really? So I think I love it.
I think I hate it.
I don't know what it is. I don't even, because I hated it for a long time. I was like, I think I fucking hate this song. And then it just kept popping up on TikTok. And now, like, every 5 minutes, I'm just like, I'm working late because I'm a singer. Like, anything I'm doing, I'm just like, da-na-na. Then now I'm just like, well, I guess I love this song and I don't even know it. And then I watched her live and I liked her little live performance. And I think that's what made me like it.
Yeah, it's always on. Like, I swear, when I get in my car, that's what's playing. Or I'm watching Instagram or something and then that comes on and I don't think I like it at all. I'm over it.
So you know what? I was talking to people at work today and this is the shit that makes me mad. So yes, I'm a 28-year-old, 29-year-old woman in finance, whatever. Some of these people I work with they have daughters that are literally the same age as me. So I already know that they don't really take me seriously.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean,
you would.
That's fair. But then I'm like, I have suggestions that I know are good ideas and they don't listen to me. Like their audience is people that are 24 to 23-year-olds. And they're like, well, we don't want to be on TikTok. And I'm like, why? Your whole audience is on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, it doesn't make sense because we don't want to pay for an influencer. I'm like, you don't have to pay for an influencer to be on TikTok. You just make a video. It's funny. It gets 2,000 views and it just brings people to your page, which is a natural just form of marketing. Just people going to your page and following your page. That will get people to buy your product. Yeah. And they're like, no, I don't think that's how it works. I'm like, no, you're right. You're right. I don't know anything about TikTok because like I don't spend 99% of my life on there. But yeah, you're right. And I'm just like, it's kind of frustrating because I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. I wish you guys would listen to me on this.
I think it's just people hating to learn like new things.
I think it's people hating to know sometimes that, like, just because you've been in this industry longer than me, that doesn't mean that you know more than me. Like, I know more about this current generation than you do. Something I will say that I've, like, learned to respect, which, like, I kind of do this a little bit, but not as much as, like, some people. Like, this one lady, I'll call her, she's older than me. So I'm like, good for you for taking advantage of remote life. So I called her the other day and she's like, hey, can I call you back? And I'm like, sure, don't worry about it. She calls me back 45 minutes later. She's like, just getting my eyelashes done. And like another day I call her. She's like, oh, I was at the mall. And I'm just like,
Is she the one that was in a dressing room one time? Yep.
Yeah, she's always just out like living her best life. And I was like, you know what? I don't even take advantage of remote life that much.
Like, but she's the reason why it ruins it for other people.
Oh, no, for sure. She has to go into the office twice a week.
Okay, but still, that is why companies do not want people working remote, because people they be out booling. They're doing whatever they want to do. They are not. She wasn't even aware enough of her job to where she was like, I'm going to have to call you back.
Yeah, no, and also, okay, call me back, but like, and you tell me you're getting your eyelashes done. Granted, maybe it's because you're telling me and you know that I'm not gonna like, judge you for it.
Yeah.
But like, come on. I don't do a lot like off of work. I'll run to the grocery store real quick, but I'm in and out within 10-15 minutes. I go to the gym before work.
Yeah.
The only thing I might do like quote unquote during work hours is like go for a walk. I don't even think that counts.
But even then you'll still have your stuff, so if someone reaches out, you kind of can help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on my work phone, so like somebody messaged me, I message them back instantly, and I obviously, if I'm like, I notice things are getting bad at work, I'm like, guess I'm not going on this walk.
Yeah, no, it's people like her that ruin it for everyone else, because then they're like, sorry, you guys can't work remote anymore because Sarah Beth has been going to the pool and doing whatever she wants at noon on the work day. I
think the pool thing should be fine though. If you have your laptop and you're down there typing away, I think that's fine.
Okay, we got to figure out though how, like, there needs to be a contraption cover a laptop at the pool.
There is.
Okay, well, I need the link to it then, because
I see people use it because I overlook the pool. People use it to stop their laptops from getting hot.
Yeah, I need whatever that is, because next thing you know, I have my head and my laptop all under a damn towel. I'm not even getting sun at this point because I'm under the towel just so I can see my laptop. And since I'm under a towel, I'm just sweating my entire ass off because it's a heat room and it's miserable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like hot works. Just sweating your ass off.
Being skinny.
I hate when people message me at work when I'm supposed to be working.
Speaking of, I hate when people are not doing their work during work hours, but yet they're over here recording a podcast.
You know what's actually scary? My boss said he listened.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, he was like, and then you started talking about work. And then I was like, I feel like I shouldn't listen anymore because I think it's starting to be an invasion of privacy. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Start putting out warnings. If you're this person, stop listening now.
If you work with me, please stop trigger warning.
Fast forward the next 10 minutes and you can resume.
Yeah, I was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, luckily my coworker listens, but I feel like that's a little bit different.
Yeah, I think you don't even have like a real job, like you say.
It's not a real job at all. I don't make real money either.
That's why you can't pay your bills. You're like living the Monopoly life.
Yeah, literally. The other day I met one of our friends' moms, and that friend, they both worked together. And so her mom was like, oh, like, how do we know you? And I was like, oh, I went to college with Burnett. Oh, okay. Like, so you don't work with them? And I was like, oh, God, no. And she was like, oh, well, do you like have a job as stressful as they do? I said, well, no, but I also make about half that they do. So not really, but.
Okay, so what level is like income comparable to life, to like comfort? Because I know friends that are pharmacists, they make, good money.
Yeah.
You're working 3 weekends out of the month, 12-hour shifts. At what cost?
I think I'm at that level where I make enough to live and do all things I want for the most part. I'm smart with my money though. I've always been good with my money, but I literally don't work on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I also get to travel for work. And that's all paid for. And so those are all perks for me. Other people, they might not find those as perks. Like if they have a family or pets or anything, I have plants and that's it. So those are perks for me. I don't think I could make less money and live financially than I do now, but I also I barely work. So I feel like I have a very good work-life balance for the amount of money I make.
Yeah, I feel the same way about my life. I feel like I have a pretty good work-life balance, but I go through days. Sometimes I'll work late days and some days I won't, but I don't know, the days that I do work late, I'm dealing with a lot of fucking bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, and even my friends that a lot of them that are accountants, they do have a lot of work to get done, and they are very corporate in a sense that like they're not going to be able to get to a happy hour by 5. I don't even know if they'd be able to get to a happy hour by 6, even on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sounds horrendous.
See, and I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I don't need more money for that. Like
Yeah.
if I were to make, I don't even think 20 grand more than what I make currently would make me want that lifestyle.
Yeah,
I'd rather
no,
live 20 grand less.
No, I agree, because then it's like, okay, and then I can't go do this, and I want to, and like especially like corporate jobs too, it becomes very strict on just
Yeah.
everything. Some of them even get strict about what you post on your own social media.
Yeah, that just reminds me of sorority life.
Yeah, no thanks.
They just always cared about what you were posting because it was representing the whole group and this and that. And they always told you like jobs are going to be like this too and whatever. And it's like, okay, but I'll never work a real job. I don't want that job that's going to make me do that.
And also for me, a big thing is I'll take a pay cut for job security. If I know I'm not going to get laid off, I have this job like set, I would rather do that than a job that there's a high chance where I could get laid off or something.
Yeah, I think that's understandable.
I would be so freaking stressed. My anxiety level would be out the roof. Every day I'd be like, do I have a job?
I also just like don't want to work on weekends.
No, me either.
And I know so many people that do. And I'm like, there's not enough money for me to want to do that. I want to live my own life. I want to go do whatever I want to do.
I know it was one Friday where we got out early. It was like, I don't know, the Friday before 4th of July or something. I don't know, whatever. Everybody's like basically off that Friday.
Yeah.
They let us go early. They're just like, just keep an eye on your email, whatever. So we all went to the bar. This was years ago. And one of our other friends texted her. She's like, don't you guys have jobs? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, well, I have to work until like 6 on Fridays. And I'm like, that's a you problem. Like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. And then they'd get upset. And I'm like, you're upset because you have FOMO.
Yeah. No, sometimes I truly feel bad when like I'm going to do these things and it's like they can't because they have job.
Yeah. Well, and now she's like making around, I think a little less than 200. So she makes a lot of money. But then I'm like, you don't travel.
No.
You don't have the time to travel. When you do travel, you're working.
Yeah.
She's goes to Europe maybe every couple years. So she like has traveled. But I'm like, she's like, oh, I took this week off. She's like, but I have to work on Wednesday. And I'm like, yeah, see, and I'm not doing that. If I took the week off, I'm not working on Wednesday.
Speaking of traveling, I think a red flag is someone that doesn't.
1,000,000,000%. Somebody that doesn't travel to me is narrow-minded.
I remember when I started seeing P and he was like, I haven't had a vacation in 3 years. And I was like, what? How? You make enough money. You get PTO. Like, do you just literally not take PTO? It just never made sense to me. And he studied abroad. He did things. He lived out in Arizona for school at one point, and he lived in Florida and it's from Michigan. And so it made no sense to me that he was like, yeah, I've not been on a vacation in 3 years.
I think that's weird.
Like, that's a red flag.
And
exactly.
And like Friday off.
You haven't even had your dog for that long, so you can't even blame it 1,000% on your dog.
No. And your dog honestly shouldn't stop you from living your life.
No. Shit. My parents have been in Switzerland and I just have had 2 dogs this whole time. I know.
I think people that don't travel, I think it's a really big red flag. And because to me, it makes it feel like you're not willing, you don't want to learn, which I think people should always be open to learning. You're not cultured and you literally think that everything that is in your bubble is everything that exists.
Yeah. It truly was something, when I found that out, I was just like, that's not normal.
The other ones that get me are the people who are like, oh, I've traveled. And I'm like, oh, where have you been? And they're like, oh, I've been to like Charleston, and they live in Charlotte. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking count.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've been to Disney. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking count.
Well, and honestly, okay, I kind of feel that way about people's honeymoons too. And I understand that sometimes people get married, then they just do a little trip, and then they'll wait and go on a honeymoon later. Because my brother did do that. And then a year later, they went to like Australia for a month. But it's interesting, especially when we love our honeymoon, and they're like in Maine. And I'm like, what? Like that's your honeymoon, Maine? That just doesn't make sense to me.
For me, honeymooning, you have to be out of the country. You just have to.
It's just weird. And also, I hate when people have honeymoon, like their purse says honeymoon.
Right.
Just married. Gross. Boo. Nasty. Get that out of my face. I saw actually a TikTok and they have honeymooning, I think is what their shirt says. And they've been married now for 7 years. And every year for their anniversary, they go on a trip and they always wear that shirt. And their whole reasoning was like, people always say like the honeymoon phase ends in a relationship and we just try to keep it going. While cringe, I didn't hate it. I would never.
Honestly, there's two kinds of people. There's people who wear it because their honeymoon phase isn't over, and there's people like me who would wear it so that people will buy you free stuff.
Literally me. I have always said like the guy that's willing to fake propose to me in the middle of somewhere just so we can get like free champagne is the guy I marry.
Austin and I have done that. We did that in Greece. Fake proposed.
Yeah.
We got free stuff.
That is the guy I'll marry, is the one that's willing to do stupid shit like that with me.
Because it's funny.
Yeah. And who cares?
Yeah, like who cares? You're never going to see these people again.
Yeah. Knowing me, I like add them on Facebook. I called off the wedding. Sorry.
Keep following my podcast page though. Dude, our power was out for 14 hours on Saturday.
Why does it keep going out?
I don't know. I guess this past time there was like a tree or something that fell. But then at 2:30 in the morning, the person who lives below me, but like next to the people below me, 2:30 in the morning, this person is screaming on their balcony. Why is the power out? Mind you, the power's already been out for 12 hours. Like, why is this a surprise to you? We all got emails. We all got text messages, multiple.
Maybe they were drunk.
Oh, they were screaming. They woke so many people up. I yelled out. I was like, shut up. The person
Really?
next to me, yeah, they woke me up. The person that lives next to me, after they didn't hear me yell shut up, was poking his head down, being like, keep it down. And they're like, oh, so we're bad guys now because there's no power, so it's our fault? No, just keep it the fuck down. It's 2:30 in the morning. You don't
none of us are happy. We're all hot in our place. We don't have fucking fans. You screaming right now is just pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah, and then they were just like literally like 30 minutes. My other neighbor texts me and she's like, the dogs won't stop barking because these guys won't shut up. I wish I called the cops on them. Sometimes people like that, I just want to call the cops on just to like, he's like, I've lived here for 6 months, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, congratulations, dude, I've lived here for 4 years. Leave me alone. Let me sleep.
In the end of the day, you screaming
do.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You screaming is literally not doing anything. If you're this angry, then get out there on the fucking power lines and start fixing them.
Like, seriously. And he was like, hey, this isn't my fault. Nobody's saying the power out is your fault.
No, but me being awake right now is your fault.
I almost threw an egg at him. I was so mad, but I was like, no, and then I'm gonna have to open the fridge, and I don't know how long the power's gonna be out for.
I'm also gonna miss. Call it someone else.
Power finally came back at 4:30 in the morning. Insane.
Yeah, right when I was getting home. See, it would have even affected me.
Oh my god, it was so annoying.
It would not have mattered to me. I have photos. They're so funny. I was showing my coworker today. I have one selfie of me at 9:30 leaving the pool. 9:30 p.m. Then I have a photo at 11 p.m. of me back drinking at a pregame. And then I have a photo of me at 2:30 eating my ice cream cone at Woody's.
You wanted to go home at like midnight. I was like, why did you just go?
I didn't even want to go out, but I had already committed to going out and I was like, yeah, I'll come. And then there I was. I was jealous of one of our friends. So I went to the baseball game with him yesterday and we had to leave at 10 a.m. for this baseball game because the game was at noon. When I was on the phone with ex-girlfriend, he happened to go home and take a nap. And he woke up from that nap thinking it was the next day, to the point where he was like, shit, I'm on my way to come get you. We got to leave and head to Athens.
Oh my goodness.
And I, like, when it was still Saturday, it was just Saturday night. That's when you know you had a bomb ass nap. Meanwhile, I was on the phone for an hour. I was like, I'm so jealous right now. I wanted to rest. Nope, just running off of fumes and vibes over here.
Dude, those drunk naps are the best.
I don't know if I'd ever wake up feeling better.
Oh, I wake up like more sober, so then I just keep going.
So you can come home, do a drunk nap, and then go back out later?
Yeah, because you feel sober. You're like, oh my goodness, I feel refreshed. Even if it's only a 20-minute nap.
I don't think I would. I think I would wake up and be like, fuck this.
Also, it does depend. There's definitely been, I don't know, honestly, no, for me, I've never had that. If I like take a nap and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back out.
I also just don't nap.
I don't either, really, but
I'm the vibes are still going. We're doing this.
It's more that I fall asleep versus like intentionally take a nap.
I think that's how he was, because he doesn't remember leaving the pool. So
yeah,
I think that was more of a like, got home, absolutely passed out, died, and then woke up an hour later and was like, shit, we got a pregame in an hour. Let's go.
I know my thing for a long time was like I would go to the bathroom and set an alarm because I would get tired and then I'd be like, nobody's gonna disrupt me in the bathroom.
Oh, is Bo's just pooping again?
Yeah, and in reality, I'm just taking a nap.
I have been so nauseous lately. I feel like I'm you. I feel like this is what when someone is pregnant, like how like they have their I was gonna say morning sickness, but it's like throughout the entire day, they're just nauseousness. To the point where I went and threw up at the bar on Saturday night. Not from drinking. I know it sounds like that was probably drinking induced. It wasn't. I had not been drinking in over 4 hours. I was at the bar, and you know when your mouth just starts watering and it's like hot and just I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom right now. I walked away from the whole group, not saying a word, threw up. I was like, this is not good. And it happened today at work today too. I was worried that it was gonna happen on this call, so I took a Tums. I don't even know if Tums helps that, but
Doesn't help with nausea, no.
I took one just in case.
I live off of Tums.
Yeah, I told my coworker that I was taking Tums, and she was like, I don't think that does that. And I was like, does it not?
No, it helps with just anti-acid, which I thought it was anti-acid, but it's anta-acid. Yeah, ANTA, which is
It's almost as bad as my Amber Sand.
Amber NyQuil.
Oh yeah, you did that for so long too.
I had no idea. I don't even remember how I figured out one day that it was NyQuil. I think I like
looked at the bottle finally.
Yeah, I think I just looked at the bottle. It just made sense that it's Dayquil and NyQuil.
I just always was like, this idiot.
But you would just be like NyQuil, LOL, and I was like, yeah, LOL, NyQuil, haha, what? Like,
why does she do this every time I say NyQuil?
And then I just think, yeah, I like looked at the bottle, and I was like, NyQuil.
Your hair.
I know it does that. I have the worst flyaways ever. They're like out of control. I call them the alien curls. They just like the only head I have on my hair.
It's like you're a troll and you have like hair coming out of your ear.
It's like the Shrek ears, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, no, it is what it is. But
my whole For You page lately has been Shrek. I don't know why.
Dude, the gym I go to, they have these, it's like a ski machine thing where you like pull your arm. I don't know. But the ends are like Shrek's ears. Every time I see them, I'm like, and I see a lot of Shrek on my For You page too. I'm like, what is, maybe it's like Shrek anniversary or something?
I don't know. And I do love Shrek. I can probably quote an entire Shrek movie. And they were like, what? And especially Shrek 2 when the little kid's like, do the roar.
I love Shrek 2. Shrek 2 to me is better than the first one.
And then his dad's like, come on, can you do the roar? And Shrek's like, no, no, no. And then the little boy goes, I don't like it. I catch myself always being like, I don't like it. And I'm like, do people even understand that? Like, I'm quoting Shrek right now and that I am hilarious? Or is this just over y'all's head and you just think I'm weird for being like, I don't like it?
I know. I hate when I make quote. I'm like, Austin and I will quote movies and people don't get them. We'll quote like Bridesmaids too. I'm like, this is like a common movie. Like, how do you not? And people like don't get it.
Like, do you not realize I am being hilarious? I am giving you quality, funny content.
And like, you're just not intellectual enough to understand it.
Yeah.
This is actually like a waste of my time. Because I am providing content for you and you're not even able to ingest it.
Yeah, that's how I feel very often.
And it's just like, that's when I realize I'm like, I really am too smart for this world.
I saw this tweet the other day and the person was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm removing my contacts so I don't have to see anything anymore and I can just live in my own world. And I was like, damn, I've never thought about it that way. That is kind of nice that you guys can do that.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't imagine what it's like. You wake up and just like, you're not a funny person. Like, how do you not just like capitalize off of your trauma?
It says, I can still crack a joke mid meltdown and that's why everyone is lucky to have me in their lives. And I was like,
no, that's seriously my
life. That's me. I can crack a joke in any time when it's definitely not a good time for a joke. But sorry, like I can't turn off the funny.
I know, literally saying like Austin has tried to have like serious moments with me and I'd be like, oh, your mom. Like, and it's not funny, but it's hilarious. He's like, seriously, you always just have to make everything a joke. I'm like, because why do you have to make things serious?
My life is a joke. This is a joke. We're just joking.
I'm the biggest joke of them all.
And on that note,
this episode has been a joke.
Yeah.
Good night.
We will talk to y'all next week. Bye.